Welcome back to the Brunch Beauty Life podcast. I'm your host, Connie, the Inspiring Stylist.
And I'm Ashley at Naturally Ashley Rowe.
Make sure you are following us on all platforms,
Check
the
them
Brunch
out.
Beauty Life podcast.
Hey. And make sure that you like, share, and subscribe, and comment.
Yes, comment. Absolutely. Before we dive into today's topic, Miss Ashley has something to say.
Okay, so I recently attended a brunch for an amazing woman. Her name is LaToya Baldwin, and she is a force in the HR field.
Okay.
She actually started as a trainee for me at my first major job in the retail industry, a major retailer. I'm not giving them no names. But she has soared to amazing heights. She's not only a force in the HR field, but she also is a mother and an author as well. She is in the business of fostering and encouraging wonderful careers for anyone that is looking to reach their next level and achieve their highest potential, as she does consistently. So at her brunch that she was celebrating a major win for her in her career, yes, she shared with us her planner. So packaging is everything. Love it. Love
What
packaging.
does it say?
And it says, investing in your future has never looked so bright.
Okay.
And what she has to offer beyond her book, How to Interview Like a Badass, which I have given out to college students, is her Rise 365 Ultimate Guided Career Journal and Planner.
That is nice.
She will have that available for purchase soon. It's coming soon.
Okay, I was just about to ask.
Also
Can I get
have
one?
in the description where you can find out more information about the wonderful LaToya Baldwin, as well as how to get your planner to Rise 365.
Okay.
So, thank you.
That thing
Felt honored
looks-
to be at your brunch.
That thing look thick. That
It's
thing
big
is
and substantial. You
Yeah.
gotta get that way if you want to change your life, right?
right, because what you doing today, if it ain't been working for you, ain't going to work for you.
It's
Gotta
not.
change. Change starts today.
Yes, and change starts from within. As
Yes.
we go into
Closure.
the topic today.
Closure.
Closure. What is closure? Do you need closure? Connie, what is closure? What do you feel that closure is?
Finding peace with an end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Finding peace with an end. Okay.
Yep.
So how do you find closure? Do you need closure in, relationships, partnerships, business, anything of that nature?
No, my personal closure comes from within, right? I don't seek the other party involved for closure, because I personally think that when you seek closure from someone, you may or you may not get it, I mean, just kind of depending on the situation, you may or you may not get it. But I go into everything in every aspect of my life that's going to be business, it's going to be friendships, and relationships with my best foot forth.
Okay.
Meaning, I do right by people. If I'm in a relationship, I'm faithful, I'm honest, I ain't sneaking around, I ain't doing no shicey type stuff. I have integrity behind the work that I do when I'm doing customers' heads or whatnot. So I know I put my best foot forth. So for whatever reason, if the relationship comes to an end, I know on my behalf that I did right by this person, and I could be at peace with my part in how the relationship went. So if it came to an end for whatever reason, I'm okay. I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah. And in most cases in relationships, I may have been the one to end the relationship, but in situations where someone ended a relationship with me for, whatever the reason may have been, it's like, it's cool,
Yeah.
So if you made a decision to let me go, it was okay. By the time that you came to the decision to let me go, we probably already had conversations. Things probably wasn't getting better, and for me, I already came to terms hey, you know what, I did what I was supposed to do.
Exactly. When it comes to closure, I remember I needed closure when I was younger, but I don't need that now.
So when you needed closure, how did that look? for you?
I mean, I mainly needed closure.
You needed a reason to why they broke up with you?
Yes, because I'm amazing.
I need to know why this is ending.
You know, ghosting is not new. So, you know, when a lot of times I've been ghosted, right? And when you're ghosted, you never receive that closure. So you're always constantly like, well, what happened? What did I do? And it's mainly like you're putting all that on yourself because the person was a coward and did not have the gumption to have an ending conversation. But now I'm very, structured in the way that I do things. So just as I start a relationship with a conversation, I like to end a relationship with a conversation. And so once we've had that conversation, that's it. I don't need the closure. I don't need to rehash. I don't need to, get you telling me how great of a girlfriend I was and how amazing I was to your family. I don't need that. That is to,
That's
soften.
usually to kind of get back in.
Or even sometimes they try to soften the blow because I find that sometimes with people, closure is not necessarily for you, it's for them as well. Like maybe they want to absolve themselves of some guilt that they feel for the part that they played in the demise of things.
Okay.
And so they want to like, oh no, you were amazing, you were great. And it's like, well, if I was amazing and I was great, then why don't you want to be with me? You know? It does not help. It just brings about more confusion and unclear feelings and unclear thoughts and kind of gives them a nice little way to leave the door open, like, Bruno Mars and all them say. And I don't need that door open.
Or when people be like, I think you deserve better. I think you deserve so much more. And if the person that you're saying this to is desiring to be with you, then maybe the truth is that it's not necessarily them that deserves this. Maybe you somewhere feel that this is what you deserve and you're not receiving it from this person. So, but you don't want to make them feel bad or whatever psychological, mental thing about that is. But you put it off. No, I think you deserve better. I mean, I've used that before when I was younger. But like teenage, I just think that, you deserve better, and I just can't be what you need, I've done that before. And I think I was just doing it in a more so the sense I was immature at that time, and I didn't know how to, in a mature way, say, hey, this doesn't work for me, and you don't want to hurt a person's feelings sometimes. So, you try to kind of do that reverse psychology and put it,
Yeah, I've been on the receiving end of the, it's not you, it's me. And, you're an amazing woman and I've learned so much from you. I had that happen in a situation and in a very dramatic way be told that I am not his wife. And, you're amazing. It's honestly not you, it's me. I don't need all that. A simple, we went into this saying that we were being intentional, and through some thought process, I don't feel as though we're the best fit for each other. And it's as simple as that.
Or you could just say, I don't think you're the best fit for me.
Exactly. But also, if you're not the best fit for me, then we're not the best fit for each other.
Yeah,
so
but you may have thought that was a good fit for you. I
mean,
later on you realize it.
You got I knew it.
I'm just saying.
But it just, again, I appreciated that fact of, you saying it and me not constantly questioning myself. But I didn't need any further closure after that. However, because of you've been amazing and you were such a great person and you're a great woman.
Did they
you're
sound
a
like
great
that?
woman.
Did they sound like that?
Yes, it sounded just like that. I didn't want to hear, it's not you, it's me. I didn't need to hear all that. It just left me feeling more confused at the conversation. So then I rounded back with a text message, which was not a closure text message. I just wanted to get out the thoughts that I had when I had time to think about it.
So if you are the person that's doing the ending, your conversation that ends it is your way of giving them closure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I feel that it's wrap up. It's a done deal. There's no need to readdress
So when you have that conversation with that person, that's you giving them their closure. But in the event that they disagree with you, that's on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
You can disagree. It's not changing it. It's still done. I mean, I too would not want to lose me either. But it does not mean that changes anything.
I too would act a fool if I was losing me.
Exactly. I feel that for the person that is seeking closure, they're probably seeking validation towards some insecurities they may have had about the situation or about the person or even about themselves. And you don't need that other person to validate you. They're already wanting to walk about your life. Why do you need them to validate you? Yeah. And I feel like for the person that is giving the closure, sometimes for them is to absolve themselves of the wrongdoings or to use you as a talking point later on and be like, I wasn't that bad. She's still my friend and she's still this and that. And I don't want to be your talking point. It's over. And it needed to end. I say a lot and feel a lot that rejection is sometimes God's biggest protection and blessing. So if it's over, as much as it might hurt, I'm being protected in some way. And in some way, somehow, I always see why it did not work and how it was actually a major protection for me.
What about the closure, but we could still be friends?
No. It depends on how it was. If we were friends, with one ex, we were actually friends. So with him saying that, I think that our relationship should end, that meant our intimate relationship as partners, as being, partners and lovers and all that. But we're still friends. So if we were friends before, I think that we could still be friends after. We're not going to be that same way of friends, because I know you different and I won't want to get the lines blurred or confused. It'll be more of a, congratulations, I saw your son just graduated from college. I'm so proud of you, and I know you must be so proud of him. Or they're reaching out and saying, oh, congratulations, I see you expanded your business and you're doing wonderful. And, that type of friendship where we're celebrating each other back and forth. I think it's a little bit tricky on the, hey, just want to see how you've been doing. You can see.
Trying to check that temperature.
Because you can see on social media how I'm doing. You do not need to have a conversation with me. And also a conversation, again, in a friendship in that way is intimate details that I don't want to share with you. We're not that good.
Let me just say this. When it ends for me. If we were in a relationship and that was the intention, was to be in this relationship to build whatever we was going to build, right? And it doesn't work, then I mean that's it. I don't see the point in us continuing a friendship, because we were once intimate. And I also think, for fast forward, if I'm in a relationship or whatnot, how would my partner feel about me having these friends that I was once, in a relationship with? But I also want to say this too, because when something ends, however you get your closure from it, whether you get it or you don't, if a person choose not to deal with you after it ends, that's their personal choice.
Absolutely.
It doesn't mean that I'm holding a grudge. It doesn't mean that I'm still upset of what happened 10 years ago or 5 years ago or whatever. It's not like I'm holding on to that negative energy. You was forgiven at the time that relationship ended. And because I choose not to want to be your friend, but you still want to be my friend, that ain't my problem.
It's not.
I don't want to deal with you. I don't see the point. I don't see the purpose. I just don't want to do it. And you're not going to force me into being your friend because you want to keep reaching out to me because you don't understand the why.
Yeah.
Why can't we? Because I don't want to.
Or they're forcing you to give them closure.
Yeah.
That should come from within. That's not something that you should
and
force
someone
to have.
Right. You can't force someone to give you closure because, in my experience, I'm never going to give you the closure that you feel like you should get. You already have this idea of what the closure should look like for me. And more than like, I'm not going to give it to you. So, you already have like this expectation of, well, I feel like they should give me, like, let's just say it's your fault. Me and you are in a relationship together, and it's your fault. Let's just say I just have that mindset, it's your fault. And if I were seeking closure from you, in my mind, I expect her to give me an apology because it was her fault. In her mind, she might have felt like she was not at fault. Therefore, you're probably never going to give me the apology I have been seeking. That goes for relationships. That goes for friendships as well, because I've seen friends that have fallen out and, girlfriends or whatever, and they fall out, and it's because, well, it was her fault. She did this. She should have known this was going to make me feel the way that I was going to feel, blah, 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 blah. But maybe that person didn't.
Yeah, and I feel that sometimes even in that situation, the time has passed, or even if you're looking now for that, like, apology from me, then I don't feel like me giving that apology is going to be genuine.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I don't genuinely feel bad or feel like I don't feel like I did anything wrong. I may feel like I've done bad, and I do feel like I did something wrong, and I am sincerely sorry.
Mm-hmm.
But how genuine will you take it?
Mm-hmm.
Because now it's coming from an aspect of you wanting or feeling like I should give you that. So then I give it to you, but then in the same right, you will question whether or not I really gave you the apology because I really feel that way, or I gave you the apology because I know you're expecting that from me.
Mm-hmm. I remember one time I had a friend. And we were close. We were like, cool. Mm-hmm. And something silly happened, and we had a whole falling out,
Mm-hmm. As friends.
And we had a whole falling out. And we talking about years went by, maybe like 3 or 4 years went past. Now I'm done with the situation. It is what it is. You made the actions that night, and I was done with it, right? It is what it is. But so many years had went past, and then all of a sudden one day she sent me that this was when MySpace was just if you want to put a timer,
Young
a
people,
little tracker on
Google
it.
MySpace if you don't know.
She sent me like this long MySpace message apologizing, for that night, and and she knows that I held this grudge against her for all these years. I'm like, girl, you was forgiven that night. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't been holding on to nothing. I moved on. And sometimes when that type of time has passed, if I could go that long without speaking to you, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, honestly, at this point, it just might as well be resolved and dissolved. Yeah. Because it's not going to ever be the same that it was. I've made my life now without you. I'm moving on. I've moved on. Move on.
Exactly. And a lot of times I think people think that you're thinking about something longer. Hence, they feel like you have a grudge when you're just like, I saw the situation for what it is. Mm-hmm. This is not going to work for me in my life moving forward. Mm-hmm. So it is what it is. It's ended. That's fine. But that doesn't mean that I now have to constantly try to keep the relationship going or the friendship going. You can have a non-grudge zone.
I like that. The non-grudge
still
zone.
Be fine and not want to be in communication. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, I feel that when we're coming back years later and things like that, you also may not fit in that person's life anymore in the way of which you were. Mm-hmm. Like, you just don't fit there anymore.
Yeah,
their life is maybe different. They may be married and have kids, and their friend group is this singular unit. Mm-hmm. So now you don't fit there anymore. Mm-hmm. Or you're out jet setting and doing things in the world and building up in business and things of that nature, and your circle is different. Mm-hmm. So they don't fit into that pocket of your life anymore.
Both ways.
And I just want us to stop forcing things outside of us. Mm-hmm. Because you're never going to 100% be satisfied with someone else, because they're their own person. And they may not think the way you do or feel the way you do. And you can't change that. Nor should you try to change who you uniquely are. Mm-hmm. You know, I know that for me, there are some things that are in me 100% that are not going to change.
Okay.
Nor do I want them to change. Now, am I able to grow and become, you know, better, stronger, more compromising, or more peaceful in certain situations? Absolutely. But there are some hard truths about me that are like core inherent things that are not going to change in who I am. Nor am I going to change them, nor do I want to change them. Nor do I want you to change inherently core things about yourself. You know, I want you to be who you are. I want to be who I am. And I find that closure within. You know, having a conversation sometimes after something is done, you're never going to fully receive what you want. And also the time is done now. So what's going to change? You can't go and rewind the past. You can't change what the experiences was, or the situation was, or how you were in them. Nothing. You can't change any of those things. You can only do what you can moving forward. And I like to find that closure within, so that I can, you know, assess the situation and say, okay, this is where I was wrong. You know, this is what I own up to. Accountability is important when you're seeking that closure within yourself.
Yeah, I'm about to say within yourself.
Within yourself. You have to own, okay, I could have done this better. I could have said that a little different. At least that's for me, because delivery is my problem. I could have said that better, or I could have handled that better, or, you know, maybe that person didn't deserve that fullness of my feelings because it wasn't really assigned to them, and I did that. So I own that. But you're also not going to be able to change any of the things in that situation. So all you can do is just say, I own it. I see where I could have been better. I can see also where this person doesn't fit into my life in this way. And I can move forward and make other interactions and other friendships stronger, and learn to not do some of those things going forward.
Yeah, so you take the lessons that you learn from that friendship and that relationship, and you apply it to your life moving forward.
Yeah. But if you're constantly seeking closure for someone, and then especially if they don't give it to you,
leave them alone.
And then you're stuck. You know, you don't want to be stuck forever in that moment of, oh, if he had just given me one more chance or one more week, what would it have done? What would it have changed?
Right.
One more day, one more week, one more chance. You might have still end up back here. So seek that closure within. And never give someone the ammo to either tear you down or to build themselves up with you. That's my perspective.
I agree. I mean, find peace within. The end.
Find the peace within. And you don't need these dramatic conversations.
So I could just text and just say this isn't working and the relationship is over. The end.
No, you can have a conversation. Texting is not the way. Let's just say that first and foremost. It's not the way.
But that might be that person's way.
Okay.
I mean, it might be that person's way. I mean, you know, I've had a text-based situation.
Well, I got a text, and they also got a delete and block.
I mean, I've had conversations. I've seen the text wave. You know, I mean,
if you're an adult, have conversations.
I can't say that. Sometimes, you know. Sometimes, depending on the person that you're dealing with, some people like to overpower you with talking, right? And you really can't say what you need to say, because if in the event that you are trying to get it off your chest and say those things, you might have that person, I ain't trying to hear all that, blah, 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 blah. So some cases you may need to say what you need to say in a text message. That way you could get it all off of your chest, and then let that person read it and let them do what they do with it.
Well, see, I differ on that, because as an example is like Jordan Peele. He had a skit with the other guy that he's on, and they had a whole text message back and forth between them. And one person was like, you know, oh, so you really you just don't care what we do today? You don't care? And the other person on the other end is reading. It's like, oh, well, no, I don't really care what we do today. It's cool. And the person on the other end is like, oh, it's cool. It's cool. You know, when you get text messages, it's hard to tell tone.
Well, no, my tone is very
things
clear.
of that nature.
Listen, this is what's been going on in the last couple of months. These are the issues that I have addressed. Blah. It's going to be real clear of the tone of which I am coming from in my text message, and it's going to be very clear that if things cannot change, if this is not what you know is going to work for you, then hey, let me go, or let's end this now, And if your response is okay, you can go. Then hey.
Okay, and again, they might have read that.
There's no other way you could have took that.
That's how your mind works, Connie, right?
There's no other way.
Everybody does not think like you, experience things like you. Now, you can be around like-minded people, but everyone is not going to take everything the same way. So to them, that might be a challenge.
Well, guess what? And then, and then you're right. And then if that was a challenge, and because my approach, and you felt challenged, and this was your response, and the relationship ended based off of that, because at the end of the day, it still ended, and I'm at peace with it, because I know that I put my best foot forward. It ended
for you, though. And that's why I like to have a conversation versus a text message, because
I've had the conversation. Okay, so then I've had the conversation before. I mean, I could think of a situation probably like a decade ago, and the conversation is like, listen, you did this, you've crossed this line, it is over. It's over. And that person, but it was an accident. Why? And it's just like, listen, it's over. You couldn't have the conversation because in their mind, they couldn't grasp that it was over, and it's over for me, but I'm good. So whatever. Well, the moral of the story is, when it comes to closure, find it from within. Don't wait and hold on to the hope of someone else or whoever the person is giving you that closure. You may get it, you may not get it, but be able to find the peace within.
Yes. The peace within is always best, and the key word in it is the peace
within.
Until
next time.
But also, until next time, if you have comments on how you feel about closure, don't forget to drop them underneath this episode, or if you have questions about closure, you can email us and we can address those things too. Mm-hmm. But until then, bye y'all. Get that closure within.
Get that closure within.